Me, always down for a good song. Or a bad song, really.
Okay.
What is the yellow arrow?
The yellow what? Oh, that is, you've got the status effect from that Ring of Favor and Protection that you put on earlier.
Oh, okay.
So, it's just telling you you're boosted.
Oh, there we go. Now I hear stuff.
Okay. I can hear you.
So we switched
Amanda can
over
hear you.
to...
We're all good. Yeah, Dark Souls.
We switched over to Dark Souls, so...
We're ready to roll, though, whenever you guys are ready to roll.
I realized I had Discord on mute the whole entire time, and so once you hop back up in, so this probably sound like I was talking to myself.
You've been talking to the voice inside your head.
Yeah, you know what's funny too? Like I don't have like the Discord group thing slid over to the side, so I had Satil's on there, but yours is like halfway. I'll hop back over to the reading one now.
Brian is here. Welcome, Brian.
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 Just announce all the people who joined the chat. Like Super
Smash announcement.
Hello, Brian. Welcome in. Good to have you with us. Brian's my mod, so I'm always happy to see him.
Oh, I love that.
Moderator Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. Oh, we got a follow while I was out. Sean R. Kieser.
Nice.
Thank you, Sean R. Kieser.
On mine.
I would have been here sooner, but I was caught up with the data.
Following.
Food.
All right.
What did y'all have for dinner?
We had grilled chicken, rice, and salad.
It was delicious. I had 2 helpings.
Salad. Nice.
Slod.
Slod.
Oh,
that slod slayed, I must say.
Oh man, I'd rather have a salad than a slod. A slod sounds a little squishy.
It sounds like coleslaw.
You say that like squishy is a bad thing.
I myself love squishy.
Yeah.
It was the first D&D campaign I played, and we started off with dealing with slod.
I see. So your rise coincides with the rise of Slod.
It's yes. That's
Rise
part of
of
it.
the
Yeah.
Slod.
It's important to understand before you start a whole onslaught.
Oh no, because of the range, I'm gonna be all phlegmy now.
Uh-oh, we're gonna be phlegmy. Okay.
Phlegmy?
We have water. Phlegmy, yeah.
Phlegmy.
What?
I got special water.
What? Oh, you got special water. Hint water.
Hint.
The stream brought to you by Hint. Tonight's flavor is
Strawberry lemon.
Strawberry lemon. Have a hint of strawberry lemon in your water.
Or at least that's what you're hinting at.
Exactly.
It really is just a hint of strawberry lemon.
It should be their slogan. Where did we leave off?
I don't know.
I know, you were gone.
I think Baljeet said that you dropped a pin on it.
No, I was saying I was putting a pin in it, like we're like metaphor
as an expression.
Don't mind me, I'm slow.
I think we finished at
you're good. So it's long heavy displeasure where we're picking up.
Heavy displeasure.
And then I
mean then heavy
Celine
displeasure
could
didn't
left
speak.
on.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Celine, will you take it away from then in heavy displeasure spake?
Sure. Then, in heavy displeasure spake to him Menelaus of the fair hair. Out upon them, for truly in the bed of a brave-hearted man where they minded to lie, very cravens as they are, even as when a hind hath couched her newborn fawns unweaned in a strong lion's lair, and...
Oh, sorry. I gotta click into the window. There we go.
And searcheth out the mountain knees and grassy knolls seeking pleasure, and afterward the lion cometh back to his den, and sendeth forth unsightly death upon the pair, even so shall Odysseus send forth unsightly death upon the wooers. Would to our fathers Zeus and Athena and Apollo would that in such might as when enfold and established Lesbos, he rose up and wrestled a match with Philomedes, and threw him mightily, and all the Achaeans rejoiced. Would that in such strength Odysseus might consort with the wooers, then should they all have swift fate and bitter wedlock. Before that whereof thou askest and entreatest me, be sure I will not swerve from the truth in aught that I say, nor deceive
He threatened them by saying, I'm gonna fuck you all. You better not let me fuck you all.
Because then we're going to be bitterly wedlocked.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be a bitter wedlock, all right. Don't worry, you'll taste it.
Alright.
But of all that the Ancient One of the Sea, whose speech is sooth, declared to me, not a word will I hide or keep from thee. In the river Aegyptus, though eager I was to press onward home, the gods they stayed me, for that I had not offered them the acceptable sacrifice of the hecatombs, and the gods ever desired that men should be mindful of their commandments. Now there is an island fair in her wake, and therein is a good haven whence men launch the gallant ships into the deep when they have drawn a store of deep black water. There the gods held me 20 days, nor did the sea winds ever show their breath, that they that serve to waft ships over the broad back of the sea. And now would all our corn have been spent, and likewise the strength of the men, except some goddess had taken pity on me and saved me, Odyysseey, daughter of mighty Proteus, the Ancient One of the Sea. For most of all I moved her heart when she was met me wandering alone apart from my company, who were ever roaming around the isle, fishing with bent hooks, for hunger was gnawing at their belly. So she stood by and spake and uttered her voice, saying, The only name for the Nile in Homer... Oh, wait. Art thou so very foolish, stranger, and feeble-witted, or art thou wilfully remiss, and hast pleasure in suffering? So long time art thou holden in the isle, and canst find no issue therefrom. Well, the heart of thy company faileth within them, full metal Malcolmist.
She uttered and said, Here's my source cited.
It is important to know that the only name for the Nile in Homer, conferring Wilkinson, Ancient Egyptians, 1878, Volume 1, page 7.
Prophecy.
It is prophecy that you will not understand, but those who read after might.
Good fourth wall break.
Yeah.
You weren't using that
Full
fourth
Metal
wall for
Alchemist.
anything, right?
Even so she spake, and I answered her, saying, I will speak forth what goddess soever thou art, and tell thee that nowise am I holden that here by mine own will, but in needs must be that I have sinned against the deathless gods, who keep the wide heaven. Howbeit do thou tell me, for the gods know all things, which of the immortals it is that binds me here, and hath hindered me from my way, and declare as touching my returning how I may go over the teeming deep. So I spake, and straightway the fair goddess made answer, Yea now, sir, I will plainly tell thee all. Hither resorteth that Ancient One of the Sea, whose speech is soothe and deathless Egyptian Proteus, who knows the depths of every sea, and is the thrall of Poseidon, and who, they say, is my father that begat me. If thou couldst but lay an ambush and catch him, he will surely declare to thee the way and the measure of thy path, and will tell thee of thy returning, how thou mayest go over the teeming deep. Yea, and he will show thee, O fosterling of Zeus, if thou wilt, what good thing and what evil hath been wrought in thy halls, whilst thou hast been faring this long and grievous way. Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay.
I love how each one of these just starts, so she speaks, so I speaks. It's like, so then I said, and then she said, and then I said.
Yeah. Riveting.
We're just getting a play-by-play of this whole conversation.
Just gossip.
I love that it's word for word.
Yeah. It's a framed narrative, y'all.
We like our framed narratives, apparently.
Yeah. Frankenstein is one of them too. Very popular form of story.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was a little bit of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a frame narrative too. So spake I.
Spake.
So she spake.
Oh, So she spake,
So,
So she
but
said.
but I answered and said unto her, devise now thyself the ambush to take this ancient one divine, lest by any chance he see me first, or know of my coming, and avoid me, for a god is hard for mortal man to quell. So spake I, and straightway the fair goddess made an answer. Yea, now, sir, I will plainly tell thee all. So often as the sun in his course stands high in the mid-heaven, then forth the brine comes, the ancient one of the sea, whose speech is sooth, before the breath of the west wind he comes, and the sea's dark ripple covers him. And when he is got forth, he lies down to sleep in the hollow of the caves, and around him the seals, the brood of fair daughter of the brine, sleep all in a flock, stolen forth from the grey sea water, and bitter is the scent they breathe the deeps of the sea salt. There will I lead thee at the breaking of the day, and couch you all orderly. So do thou choose diligently 3 of thy company, the best thou hast in thy decked ships. And I will tell thee all the magic arts of battle. First, he will number the seals and go over them. But when he has told their tale and beheld them, he will lay him down in the midst, as a shepherd with the sheep of his flock. He likes... okay, I mean, you do you, man. It's a cool mattress setup, I guess. So soon as ever, ye shall see him couched. I mean, their flubber's gotta be real soft. Even then, mind you of your might and strength, and hold him there, despite his eagerness and striving to be free. And he will make essay, and take all manner of shapes of things that creep upon the earth, of water likewise, and of fierce fire burning. Oh yeah, I remember this is funny. Because he like turns into different stuff while you try to grab him. But do you grasp him steadfastly, and press him yet the more? And at length, when he questions thee in his proper shape, as he was when first ye saw him laid to rest, then, hero, hold thy strong hands, and let the ancient one go free, and ask him which of the gods is hard upon thee. Oh, he's got the deets. And as touching thy returning, how they mayst go over the teeming deep. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. Therewith he dived beneath the heaving sea, but I betook me to the ships where they stood in the sand, and my heart was darkly troubled as I went. But after I had come down to the ship and to the sea, and we made ready for our supper, an immortal night had come on. Then did we lay to rest upon the sea beach. So soon as early dawn shone forth, the rosy-fingered in that hour, I walked by the shore of the wide-waved sea, praying instantly to the gods, and I took with me 3 of my company, in whom I trusted most for every enterprise. Meanwhile, so it was that she had plunged to the broad bosom of the sea, and had brought from the deep the skins of 4 sea calves, and all were newly flayed, for she was minded to lay a snare for her father. She had scooped layers on the sea sand and set awaiting us, and we drew very nigh her, and she made us all lie down in order, and cast a skin over each. There would our ambush have been most terrible, for the deadly stench of the sea-bred seals distressed us sore. Nay, who would lay him down by a beast of the sea? But herself she wrought deliverance, and devised a great comfort. She took ambrosia of a very sweet savor, and set it beneath each man's nostril, and did away with the stench of the beast. So all the morning we waited with steadfast heart, and the seals came forth in troops from the brine, and then they couched them all orderly by the sea beach. And at high day the Ancient One came forth from out of the brine, and found his fatted seals. Yea, and he went along their line, and told their tale, and first among the sea beasts he reckoned us, and guessed not that there was guile, and afterward he too laid him down. Then we rushed upon him with a cry, and cast our hands about him, nor did the Ancient One forget his cunning. Now behold, at the first he turned into a bearded lion, and thereafter into a snake, and a pard, and a huge boar. Then he took the shape of running water, and of a tall and flowering tree. We the while held him close with steadfast heart. For when now that ancient one with magic arts was aweary, then at last he questioned me, and spake unto me, saying, Full Metal Alchemist.
This is a good
let's
song
see
to
here.
start on.
There it is. Which of the gods was it, son of Atreus, that aided thee with his counsel, that thou mightest waylay and take me perforce? What wouldst thou thereby? Even so he spake, but I answered him, saying, Old man, thou knowest all, wherefore dost thou question me thereof with crooked words? For lo, I am holden long time in this isle, neither can I find any issue therefrom, and my faith faileth me. Howbeit do you tell me, for the gods know all things, which of the immortals is it that bindeth me here, and hath hindered me from my way, and declare as touching my returning, how I may go over the teeming deep? Even so I spake, and he straightway answered me, saying, Nay, surely thou wouldest have done goodly sacrifice to Zeus and the other gods ere thine embarking, that with most speed thou mightest reach thy country sailing over the wrinkled dark deep. For it is not thy fate to see thy friends and come to thy established home in thine own country, till thou hast passed yet again within the waters of Aegyptus to heaven-fed stream, and offered holy hecatombs to the deathless gods who keep the wide heaven. So shall the gods grant thee the path which thou desirest. So he spake, but my spirit within me was broken, for that he bade me again to go to Aegyptus, over the misty deep, a long and grievous way. Yet even so I answered him, saying, Old man, all this will I do according to thy word, but come declare me this, and tell it all plainly. Did all those Achaeans return safe with their ships, all whom Nestor and I left as we went from Troy, or perished by any a shameful death aboard his own ship, or in the arms of his friends after he wound up in the claw of a war? So spake I, and anon he answered me, saying, Son of Atreus, why dost thou straitly question me hereof? Nay, it is not for thy good to know or learn my thought, for I tell thee thou shalt not long be tearless when thou hast heard it all aright. For many of these were taken, or learn my thought. Many of these were taken, and many were left. But 2 only of the leaders of the mail-coated Achaeans perished in returning. As for the battle, thou thyself wast there, and one, methinks, is yet alive, and is holden on the wide deep. Aias, in truth, was smitten in the midst of his ships of the long oars. Poseidon at first brought him nigh to Gyrae, to the mighty rocks, and delivered him from the sea, and so he would have led his doom, albeit hated by Athene, had he not let a proud word fall from the fatal darkening of his heart. He said that in the gods' despite he had escaped the great gulf of the sea, and Poseidon heard his loud boasting, and presently caught up his trident into his strong hand, and smote the rock Gyraean, and cleft it in twain. And the one part abode in his place, but the other fell into the sea, and broke the piece whereupon Aias sat, and at first, when his heart was darkened. And the rock bore him down to the vast and heaving deep, so there he perished, and he had drunk of the salt sea water. But thy brother verily escaped the fates, and avoided them in his hollow ships, for Queen Hera saved him. But now, when he was like soon to reach the steep mount of Malia, lo, the storm wind snatched him away, and bore him over the teeming deep, making great moan to the border of the country whereof Thyestes dwell. But now Aegisthus abode there, the son of Thyestes. But thence too there showed a good prospect of safe returning, and the gods changed the wind to a fair gale, and had reached home. Then verily did Agamemnon set foot with joy upon his country soil, and as he touched his own land he kissed it, and many were the hot tears he let fall, for he saw his land and was glad. And it was so that the watchman spied him from his tower, the watchman whom crafty Aegisthus had led and posted there, promising him for a reward 2 talents of gold. Now he kept watch for the space of a year, lest Agamemnon should pass by him when he looked not, and mind him of his wild prowess. So he went to the house to bear the tidings to the shepherd of the people, and straightway Aegisthus contrived a cunning treason. He chose out 20 of the best men in the township, and set an ambush, and on the further side of the hall he commanded to prepare a feast. Then with chariot and horses he went to bid the feast of Agamemnon, shepherd of the people. But the caitiff thoughts were in his heart, and he brought him up to his house, all unwitting of his doom, and when he had feasted, him slew him, as one slayeth an ox at the stall. And none of the company of Atreides that were his following were left, nor any of the men of Aegisthus, but they were all killed in the halls.
Great job. That was a lot.
That was long. My goodness.
That was a warm-up.
That was a good one.
That was a warm up.
Yep.
So spake he, and when my spirit within me was broken, and I wept as I sat upon the sand, nor was I minded any more to live and see the light of the sun. But when I had taken my fill of weeping and groveling on the ground, then spake the ancient one of the sea, whose speech is soothed. No more, son of Atreus. Hold this long weeping without cease, for we shall find no help therein. Rather with all haste make essay that so thou mayest come to thine own country. For either thou shalt find Aegisthus yet alive, or it may be Orestes was beforehand with thee and slew him. So mayest thou chance upon his funeral feast. So he spake, and my heart and lordly soul again were comforted for all my sorrow, and I uttered my voice, and I spake to him winged words. Their fate I now know, but tell me of the third. Who is that is yet living and holden on the wide deep, or perchance is dead? And fain would I hear despite my sorrow. Should I keep going?
Up to you.
I'll finish this paragraph.
Mhm.
So spake I, and straightway he answered and said, It is the lord of Laertes, whose dwelling is in Ithaca, and I saw him in an island shedding big tears in the halls of the nymph Calypso, who holds him there perforce, so he may not come to his own country. For he has by him no ships with oars, and no companions to send him on his way over the broad back of the sea. But thou, Menelaus, son of Zeus, art not ordained to die and meet thy fate in Argus, the pasture land of horses, but the deathless gods will convey thee to the Elysian plain and the world's end, where is Rhadamanthus of the fair hair, where life is easiest for men. No snow is there, nor yet great storm, nor any rain, but always ocean sendeth forth the breeze of the shrill west to blow cool on men. Yea, for thou hast Helen to wife, and thereby they deem thee to be son of Zeus. Full meta office.
Okay. So now we find out the location of Odysseus. And what his fate has been after the Iliad.
Calypso got him.
Calypso got him. So the whole thing is like they didn't like send a tribute to Zeus, so now they're being punished for it. Is that the idea? I guess.
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah. What else did I want to mention? This whole parable, holy shit. Like
that was a lot to take in.
he's just telling us like the story of like, well, here's what happened to someone who didn't put tribute towards the gods, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that's what that's about.
I'm more impressed that
give tribute.
like this was a human who did this translation. They could have put like 6 different paragraph breaks in there.
I know.
And just
But they didn't.
chose none of them. They chose wall of text as their way to convey this.
Yeah.
They chose
That was
fine.
an
You
active
know,
choice.
Well, I would cry too.
It was a
Because,
choice.
like, right after this, Menelaus is like, I'm fucking dead.
Dead.
What were you gonna say?
Deceased. Huh? I don't remember.
Okay, sorry.
It wasn't. It wasn't important.
Okay. So spake he and plunged into the heaving sea. Is that where we are at?
Yes.
Okay. Excuse me. So spake he and plunged into the heaving sea, but I betook me to the ships with my godlike company, and my heart was darkly troubled as I went. Now after I had come down to the ship and to the sea, and had made ready for our supper, and a mortal night had come on, then did we lay us to rest upon the sea beach. So soon as early dawn shone forth, the rosy-fingered first of all, we drew down our ships to the fair salt sea, and placed the masts and the sails in the gallant ships, and the crew too climbed on board, and sat upon the benches, and smote the grey sea water with their oars. Then back I went to the waters of Aegyptus, the heaven-fed stream, and there I moored the ships, and offered the acceptable sacrifices of hecatombs. So, when I appeased the anger of the everlasting gods, I called a barrow to Agamemnon, that his fame might never be quenched. So, having fulfilled all, I set out for home, and the deathless gods gave me a fair wind, and brought me swiftly to mine own dear country. But lo, now tarry in my halls till it shall be the 11th day hence. Only been here for 11 or 12 days, is that what he's saying?
Pretty much.
Wow. Wow, what a journey. Then will I send thee with all honor on thy way, and give thee splendid gifts, 3 horses and a polished car. Ooh, nice.
Polished car.
Cars back then.
Polished.
Wow.
What kind of car is it?
The kind of car that a horse pulls. And moreover, I will give thee a goodly chalice. A goodly chalice! That thou mayest pour forth before the deathless gods, and be mindful of me all the days of thy life. Then wise Telemachus answered him, saying, Son of Atreus, nay, hold me not long time here. Yea, even for a year would I be content to sit by thee, and no desire for home or parents would come upon me, for I take wondrous pleasure in thy tales and talk. But already my company wearieth in fair Pylos, and yet thou art keeping me long time here. Let me out! And whatsoever gift thou wouldst give me, let it be a thing to treasure. But horses I will take none to Ithaca, but leave them here to grace thine own house. For thou art lord of a wide plain, wherein is lotus great plenty, and therein is spear reed, and wheat, and rye, and white, and spreading barley. In Ithaca there are no wide courses, nor meadowland at all. It is a pasture land of goats, and more pleasant in my sight than one that pastureth horses, for of the isles that lie and lean upon the sea, none are fit for driving of horses. Rich in meadowland, at least all of is Ithaca. So spake he, and Menelaus with a loud war cry smiled. Loud war cry. And caressed him with his hand, and spake and hailed him, Full Metal Malchemist.
Full Metal Malchemist. Thou art of gentle blood, dear child, so gentle the words thou speakest. Therefore I will make exchange of the presents, as I may. Of the gifts such as are treasures stored in my house, I will give thee the goodliest and greatest of price. I will give thee a mixing bowl beautifully wrought. It is all of silver, and the lips thereof are finished with gold, the work of Hephaestus. the hero Pedimus, the king of Sidonians, gave it to me when his house sheltered me on my coming thither. And to thee now would I give it.
My coming
Even
thither.
so. Even so, they hither thither. Even so, they spake one to another. While the guests came to the palace of the divine king, they drave their sheep and brought wine that maketh glad the heart of man. And their wives with fair attire sent them wheaten bread. Thus were these men preparing the feast in the halls. But the wooers, meantime, were before the palace of Odysseus, taking their pleasure in casting of weights and spears on a level place, as heretofore in their insolence. And Antinous and godlike Eurymachus were seated there, the chief men of the wooers, who were far the most excellent of all. And Noemon, son of Phromius, drew nigh to them and spake unto Antinous, and questioned him, saying, Full Metal Malcolmus.
Can I just say that we could totally do a spake counter? The amount of times that word has come up just in the last, 10 minutes.
Is that our new countenance counter?
Yes. I can make one for next time.
My goodness. So much spake.
Yeah.
They just keep spaking.
Damn, that was such a smooth transition back to Ithaca, too. I was just like, oh shit, we're in Ithaca again? Okay.
Meanwhile, back in Ithaca,
Yeah.
Antonius, know we at all, or know we not, when Telemachus will return from sandy Pylos? He hath departed with the ship of mine, and I need thereof to cross over to spacious Elis, where I have 12 brood mares with hardy mules unbroken at the teat. I would drive off one of these and break him in. So
What a
speak
shame
they.
to be unbroken at the teat. Okay. Continue.
You're saying you'd rather be broken at the teat?
Broken.
So spake he, and they were amazed, for they deemed not that Telemachus had gone to Nilian Pylos, but that he was at home somewhere in the fields, whether among the flock or with the swineherd. Wow, they're paying so little attention they didn't even notice him yeeting himself off.
yeah,
Then Antonius, son of Eurypathes, spake to him in turn. Tell me the plain truth. When did he go, and what noble youths went with him? Were they chosen men of Ithaca, or hirelings and thralls of his own? He was in case to bring even that about. And tell me this in good sooth, that I may know for a surety, did he take thy black ship from thee perforce against thy will? Or didst thou give it to him of free will, at his entreaty? Then Noemon, son of Phromius, answered him, saying, I gave him myself of free will. What can any man do when such an one on best with care begs a favor? It were hard to deny the gift. The youths who next to us are noblest in the land, even these have gone with him, and I marked their leader on board ship, Mentor, or a god who in all things resembled Mentor. But one matter I marvel at. I saw the goodly Mentor here yesterday toward dawn, though already he had embarked for Pylos. He spake, and withal departed to his father's house. And the proud spirits of these twain were angered, and they made the wooers sit down together and cease from their games. And among them spake Antonius, son of Eurypathes, in displeasure, and his black heart was wholly filled with rage, and his eyes were like flaming fire. Out on him! A proud deed hath Telemachus accomplished in the high hand, even this journey, and we thought that he would never bring it to pass. The lad hath clean gone without more ado in spite of us all. His ship he hath let haul to sea, and chosen the noblest in the township. He will begin to be our bane even more than heretofore, but may Zeus destroy his might, not ours, ere he reach the measure of manhood. But come, give me a swift ship and 20 men, that I may lie and watch and wait even for him on his way home in the strait between Ithaca and the rugged Samos, that so he may have a woeful end of his cruising in quest of his father. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. So spake he, and they all assented thereto, and bade him to the work, and thereupon they arose and went to the house of Odysseus. Now it was no long time before Penelope heard of the counsel that the wooers had devised in the deep of their heart, for the henchman Medon told her thereof, who stood without the court and heard their purposes while they were weaving their plot within. So he went on his way through the halls to bring the news to Penelope, and he stepped down over the threshold. Penelope spake unto him, Henchman, wherefore have the noble wooers sent thee forth? What is it to tell handmaidens of divine Odysseus to cease from their work and prepare a banquet for them? Nay, after thus much wooing, never again may they come together, but here this day sup for their last and latest time, all ye who assemble so often and waste much livelihood, the wealth of wise Telemachus. Long ago, when ye were children, ye marked not your fathers telling what manner of men was Odysseus among them, one that wrought no iniquity toward any man, nor spake aught unrighteous in the township, as if the wont of divine kings, one man a king is like to hate, another he might chance to love. But never did he do aught at all presumptuously to any man. Nay, it is plain what spirit ye are of, and your unseemly deeds are manifest to all, nor is there any gratitude left for kindness done. Then Medon, wise of heart, answered her, Would, O queen, that this were the crowning evil, but the wooers devise another far greater and more grievous, which I pray the son of Cronos may never fulfill. They are set on slaying Telemachus with the edge of the sword on his homeward way, for he is gone to fair Pylos and goodly Lacedaemon, to seek tidings of his father. Full Metal Alchemist.
Let me get one thing straight. So, Antinous.
Antinous.
Yes, Antinous. Okay.
Yes.
And Eupeithes. Okay. So spake he, but her knees.
So spake he, but her knees. Yes.
Okay.
Her knees.
But her knees.
But her knees.
But her knees.
But her knees.
All right. So spake he, but her knees were loosened where she stood, and her heart melted within her. And long time was she speechless, and lo, her eyes were filled with tears, and the voice of her utterance was stayed. And at the last she answered him and said, Henchman, wherefore, I pray thee, is my son departed? There is no need that he should go abroad on swift ships that serve men for horses on the sea, and that cross the great wet waste. Ooh, that's a good way to describe the ocean.
Wet waste.
The great wet waste. Is it that even his own name may no more be left upon the earth? Then, Medon, wise of heart, don't forget, wise of heart.
Wise of heart.
Wise of heart, answered her, I know not whether some god set him on, or whether his own spirit stirred him to go to Pylos to seek tidings of his father's return, or to hear what end he met. He spake and departed through the house of Odysseus, and on her fell a cloud of consuming grief, so that she might no more endure to seat her on a chair, whereof there were many in the house. Damn, these people, these squatters, these people who just want to, like, take this house from Odysseus. Just, like, squatting.
Yep, pretty much.
No matter what. Even Medon, wise of heart, cannot dissuade.
They are camping out, waiting
Wow.
for their chance.
Wow. Okay, sorry, I just had to pause and recognize that this is what is happening. Where there were many in the house, but she crouched on the threshold of her well-builded chamber, wailing piteously, and her handmaids round her made low moan, as many were in the house with her, young and old. And Penelope spake among them, pouring forth her lamentation. Hear me, my friends, for the Olympian sire hath given me pain exceedingly beyond all women who were born and bred my day. For erewhile I lost my noble lord and of the lion heart, adorned with all perfection among Danaans. Yeah, Danaans.
Danans?
Danans. Maybe Danans.
Danes.
I think it's Danans. Danaans.
I was just thinking, I don't know.
Animals.
Among the Danimals, my good lord, whose fame is noised abroad
Among
from
the animals.
abroad the Hellas to mid-Argus. And now again the storm winds have snatched away my well-beloved son without tidings from our halls, nor heard I of his departure. O women, hard of heart, that even ye did not each one let the thought come into your minds to rouse me from my couch when he to the black hollow ship, though ye knew full... I'm so upset I'm getting my words messed up. Though ye knew full well thereof. Fuck you, maidens. Fuck you, maidens. For had I heard that he was purposing this journey, verily he should have stayed here still, though eager to be gone, or have left me dead in the halls. Howbeit, let someone make haste to call the ancient Dolius my thrall, whom my father gave me ere yet I had come hither, who keepeth my garden of trees. So shall he go straightway and sit by Laertes and tell him all, if perchance Laertes may weave some counsel in his heart and go forth and make his plaint to the people, who are purposed to destroy his seed, and the seed of godlike Odysseus. She's mad.
She is pissed.
Yeah. And yeah, just upset, just sad, upset, mad.
Upsetty spaghetti.
Yeah. Full Metal Alchemist.
Then the good
Full Metal
nurse...
Alchemist.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Then the good nurse.
Quiet, you ghost!
How dare? And just what do you think you're going to do to silence me? Hmm?
With more reading. Baljeet, quick!
Then the good nurse, Eurycleia, answered her, Dear lady, slay me if thou wilt with a pitiless sword, or let me yet live on in the house. Yet will I not hide my saying from thee. I knew all this, and gave him whatsoever he commanded, bread and sweet wine. And he took a great oath of me not to tell thee till at least the 12th day should come, or thou thyself should miss him or hear of his departure, that thou mightest not mar thy fair flesh with thy tears. But now, wash thee in water, and take to thee clean raiment, and ascend to thy upper chamber with the women thy handmaid, and pray to Athene, daughter of Zeus, lord of the Aegis, for so may she save him even from death. And heap not troubles on an old man's trouble, for the seed of the son of Arcesius is not, methinks, utterly hated by the blessed gods, but someone will happily yet remain to possess these lofty halls and the fat fields far away. So spake she, and lulled her queen's lamentation, and made her eyes to cease from weeping. So she washed her in water, and took her and took her clean raiment, and ascended to the upper chamber with the women her handmaids, and placed the meal for sprinkling in a basket, and prayed unto Athene. Hear me, child of Zeus, lord of the Aegis, unwearied maiden. If ever wise Odysseus in his halls burnt for thee fat slices of the thighs of heifer or of sheep, These things I pray thee. Now remember, and save my dear son, and ward from him the wooers and the naughtiest of their pride. Full Metal Alchemist.
Therewith she raised a cry, and the goddess heard her prayer. But the wooers clamoured through the shadowy halls, and thus would some proud youth say, Verily, this queen of many wooers prepareth our marriage, nor knoweth at all how that for her son death hath been ordained. Thus would certain of them speak, but they knew not how these things were ordained. And Antinous made a harangue and spake among them. Good sirs, my friends, shun all disdainful words alike, lest someone hear and tell it even in the house. But come, let us rise, and in silence accomplish that whereof we spake, for the counsel pleased us, every one. Therewith he chose 20 men that were the best, and they departed to the swift ship and the sea banks. So first of all they drew the ship down into the water, and placed the mast and sails in the black ship, and fixed the oars and leathern loops all orderly, and spread forth the white sails. And squires haughty of heart, bare for them their arms, and they moored her high out in the shore water, and themselves disembarked. There they supped and waited for evening to come on. But the wise Penelope lay there in her upper chamber, fasting and tasting neither meat nor drink, musing whether her noble son should escape death or even fall before the proud wooers. And as a lion broods all in fear among the press of men when they draw the crafty ring around him, so deeply was she musing when deep sleep came over her, and she sank back in sleep, and all her joints were loosened. Now the goddess, grey-eyed Athena, turned to other thoughts.
I'm sorry. It's just a good sleep, you know?
It's just
It was
a damn
you
good
sounded
sleep
so
is so
excited about her
good.
getting like that
Yeah.
nice sleep.
You get that rest, girl.
She deserves it at this point, you know? She's having to put with all this shit.
You're like, she's going through too damn much. She needs some good sleep.
Wisdom is knowing when to call it a good time to take a rest. So let's feel a little alchemist first.
Are you turning over the text?
Yeah, I was turning it over.
Okay.
Okay.
I figure if you guys are at a point where you're laughing, also I'm actually not doing real great, and I might need to step away again here.
No worries.
Now the goddess, grey-eyed Athene, turned to other thoughts. She made a phantom and fashioned it after the likeness of a woman.
I saw you turn your head down, being like, Iphthime. Yeah.
Daughter of great-hearted Icarius, whom Eumelus wedded, whose dwelling was in Pherae, and she sent it to the house of divine Odysseus to bid Penelope, amid her sorrow and lamenting, to cease from her weeping and tearful lamentation. So the phantom passed into the chamber by the thong of the bolt, and stood above her head, and spake unto her, saying, I'm telling you, we need a spake counter.
Yeah, we do need a spake counter.
Goddamn. Also, the name dropping in this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Alright, sleepest thou, Penelope, stricken at heart? Nay, even the gods who live at ease suffer thee not to wail or be afflicted, seeing that thy son is yet to return, for no sinner is he in the eyes of the gods. Then wise Penelope made her answer as she slumbered very softly at the gates of dreams. Wherefore, sister, hast thou come hither, that before wert not wont to come? For thou hast thine habitation very far away. biddest thou me indeed to cease from the sorrows and pains, so many that disquiet my heart and soul. Erewhile I lost my noble lord of the lion heart, adorned with all perfection among the Danimals.
Yeah.
My true lord, whose fame is noised abroad from Hellas to mid-Argus. And now again my well-beloved son is departed on his hollow ship, a poor child, not skilled in toils or in the gatherings of men. For him I sorrow yet more than for my lord, and I tremble and fear for him, lest aught befall him, whether it may be amid that folk where he is gone, or in the deep. For many foemen devise evil against him, and go about to kill him, or ever he come to his own country. Full Metal Malcolm.
Okay. Full Metal Alchemist. And the dim phantom answered her, and said, Take courage, and be not so sorely afraid, for lo, such a friend goes to guide him, as all men prayed to stand by them. For that she hath the power, even Pallas Athene. And she pitieth the... my power, you know.
My power.
You don't know it, but it's my power, okay? And she pitieth thee in thy sorrow, and now hath sent me forth to speak these words to thee. Yeah, who could it be? Oh, I don't know.
It's a mystery.
Athena sent me, but, you know, you didn't hear it from me.
The great, wise, powerful Athena
Yeah,
sent me.
that
Like, I don't know.
amazing
like,
goddess that we all know and love.
We all adore her, right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And wise Penelope answered her, saying, If thou art indeed a god, okay, and hast heard the word of a god, come, I pray thee, and tell, she sees through bullshit, and tell me tidings concerning that ill-fated man, whether perchance he is yet alive and sees the light of the sun, or hath already died, and is a dweller in the house of Hades. And the dim phantom answered her and said, Concerning him, I will not tell. I'm not gonna fucking tell you.
Bitch!
Like, why'd you come here?
Just tell him, is he dead or not?
Concerning him, I will not tell thee all the tale, whether he be alive or dead. It is ill to speak words light as wind. Therewith the phantom slipped away by the bolt of the door and passed into the breath of the wind. Why did you come? Why did you do this?
Why were you here?
Whatever.
Oh shit.
And the daughter of Icarius started up from sleep, and her heart was cheered. So clear was the vision that sped toward her in the dead of the night. Meanwhile, the wooers had taken the ship, and were sailing over wet ways, pondering into their hearts sheer death for Telemachus. A great wet wasty death. Now there is a rocky isle in the mid-sea, midway between Ithaca and rugged Samos. Asteris. Samos! A little isle, and there is harbor therein, with a double entrance where ships may ride. There the Achaeans abode, lying in wait for Telemachus. We're on book 5, y'all!
Dun, dun, dun. Woo! Made it.
Heck
made it.
yeah.
Finally.
Congratulations.
Oh my god.
It only took us,
Yes.
Yeah. Celine, have you been able to hear the music this whole time, or is it not sharing the sound?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
You've been missing out on some good
this-
tracks.
Yeah, that tracks. But at least
There
the
have been
audience
some
didn't
points
miss
where
out
I'm
on the
just vibing.
tracks.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, how are we feeling? Do we want to keep going? Do we want to pause this and leave it for another day?
I mean,
I'm
I'm
okay with another day.
I'm kind of reaching my own limit here. So
No
One way or
worries.
the
You did a
other,
great job. Everyone did a great job. I'm so happy we got
thank
this
you.
done.
We
Book
did
frickin'
it.
5, you guys. Holy shit. Finally. Oh my god.
well, thank you to everybody who dropped in, especially folks from my community. Big shout out to you
Yeah.
guys. You're
Thank you,
great.
Celine's
Thank you for coming
community.
by.
Yeah. Lots of fun.
Lovely to meet folks who aren't from my community too. Hope you're all doing
Yes,
well.
yes. Hope you're all listening in, having a good night. And yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
guess
drop
that's
here.
it. Gotta find someone to raid.
Oh, raid targets. Do
Raid
you
target.
have
Raid
recommendations?
target. Let's see here.
Who are we targeting?
Who are we? Who's next? Baljeet's on, hey?
I am on, yeah.
You are going to be playing more Dark Souls, right?
Yeah, I'll probably do a tiny bit before I head to bed.
Alright, we'll raid in.
Yeah.
Bayfinger
I'll see you guys in a little bit.
and Baljeet.
Alright,
Whoops,
take care,
invalid.
everyone. Have a
Bal-
wonderful time.
did you put Baljeer?
Have a good
I'll
night.
feel
Yeah, I
better as
did.
well.
Have a good night, Celine.
Good night.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
Well, I appreciate you as well. Thank you for setting this up. Until next
Absolutely. Until next time.
Oh, track ball D. No, a full metal alchemist.
Jeet. There we go. There's the raid.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Have a good evening. And until next time, reading Renegades out.
Yeah.
Have fun playing Dark Souls, Baljeet.
Have fun enjoying your time. Go tell Mauricio I said hey.
Oh, I will
shall.
definitely tell him
Yeah.
that you say hi.
Mauricio. Yay.
All right. Night to night.
Night and night.
No.
Have a good one.
You too. All right. See y'all over there on the stream. Bye.